morning, everyone, and welcome to our Police Service Board meeting for May 22nd. I would like to make an introduction of Staff Sergeant Jordan Yancey. Okay, perfect. So this is Jordan. Thank you for coming to our meeting today. And so I'd like to call the meeting to order. Do we have any pecuniary interests?
I'm here.
None.
None.
Delegation?
No.
Circulation of prior meetings minutes. Does anybody have any questions on the prior meetings minutes?
I have one.
Yes?
In the last meeting, Sergeant Matheson was gonna look into the VoIP phones and whether we still had to pay for our phones.
Yeah, he got back to me, he's looking into it.
Okay,
The VoIP phones are there, but he's just confirming that they're not using the
Ours.
bell lines.
our bell lines, okay.
Perfect. Any other questions from the last meeting's minutes? Could I have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
It's in here. I'll move it.
Moved by Greg,
Oh, seconded.
second by Bev. Perfect. All in favor? Motion carried. Business arising from minutes. Is there anything that we need to discuss? Nope. Perfect. Any council issues and correspondence?
Nothing?
Nothing? Perfect. On to new business. I'm going to turn it over to Staff Sergeant Jordan, and you can give us your report, please.
Morning, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm sitting in for Sergeant Rick Matheson today. I'm Jordan Yancey. I'm the operations manager at the Lambton Detachment here. Thanks for having me. So you received the detachment board report, I assume. So I'll just go through some of the highlights. Point Edward continues to be a very safe community that is in good shape. We have the officers dedicated to the community, and we appreciate the support of PSB. So for motor vehicle collisions in March, we only had two. One was property damage and one was a minor personal injury. In March, there was nothing to report. For criminal charges, in March we had 2 criminal charges in Point Edward here, and in April we had 0. So provincial charges, speeding, POA charges, things like that. In March we had 25 charges, and in April we had 10. During those 2 months we had 22 warnings, so the officers can use discretion and provide an e-warning to the public and educate them if they so choose. In violent crime, in March we had nothing to report. In April there was nothing to report. The property crime, so B&E thefts, things like that. In March there was nothing to report. In April there was 1 theft over $5,000, and there was 1 theft under, and there was 2 frauds at that time. So 4 property crimes during the month of April. Drug crime in those 2 months there was nothing to report. Patrol hours, so foot patrol in the community, we had 30 hours of foot patrol in March, and in April we had 18 and a half hours of foot patrol. False alarms during that time, in March we had 9 reported false alarms, and in April we had 7 reported false alarms. So that's pretty standard that there's a few. For some summer events, in June and July, we're going to be doing the Canada Day and the Mackinac races there. So we'll be in town. And we've had our community officers in the schools quite frequently. We had the officer recently present at Bridgeview regarding youth and law and social media, appropriate uses of social media. So we're active in the community. And one point that I do have to bring up, I don't know if this is the appropriate time, the name of the board, it appears that it has to be changed to OPP Detachment Board, so Point Edward OPP Detachment Board. That's some of the rules. At this time, I believe it's Point Edward Police Services Board. So under the rules, that has to be changed. So, any questions for me, or?
I have a couple.
Of course.
Fraud. Was that something where people were getting scammed out of stuff, or was it checks, or what sort of fraud do people need to be worried about?
Well, the most common types of fraud, I don't know particularly what types of fraud those were that I can speak to it, but the common types of fraud that we're dealing with now is all, through the phone or through the internet. So we probably get a call a day, I know I do on my police phone, from someone overseas calling, it's usually calling from the CRA or from the local police or from Amazon, or from asking for your particular details and your credit card information. So I would just, for everybody, the police will never call ever and ask for money. Police do not do that. So if a police officer calls and asks for money over the phone, you know it's a scam. The CRA does not do that. So if it's over the phone, I highly recommend that people in the community ask for something in writing, or say that they'll attend their bank or attend the local police station if they have any questions, or give us a call. Do not provide any information. That's how people are getting scammed. They're giving their private information and their email. Sometimes their email is being hacked, and they access the email. They have access to, just think of all the things that you have on your email. You have your banking information, you have your home information. You probably have your tax information. You have quite a bit. So just keep your personal information private.
Perfect, thank you. And then I had another one, people that I've been seeing, people walking up people's driveways on their cameras that they're posting. I just want to make sure that we let people know that if somebody is walking up their driveway and that they have it, first, keep your cars locked, keep your garages locked, and please report it to the police. Because if it's not reported to the police, then the police don't know, and they can't up their surveillance of areas. So it's very important that people do notify the police when they're finding stuff out. Don't just post it on social media.
Yeah, I could speak a little bit further to that. If you feel something is suspicious, it usually is suspicious, and call it into the police. There is a new way that people are doing break-in enters. They're basically going up and asking for a glass of water, or asking to use the telephone. And really all they're doing is seeing if someone's home. And if someone's home, they'll commit a break-in enter. It's not happening in Point Edward per se, but that's a common thing that we're seeing in the cities. So if you see someone that's suspicious at your home, don't give them any private personal information, and call the police, right? We can always check if it's a legitimate organization that's going door to door. They have no problem giving us their information and speaking to us about it. So if it is suspicious, please call it in.
Perfect. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Mayor?
I was noticing or reading this article, that Inspector Chris Avery, the presentation on the fraud and the project that he's doing. Previously at our board, we talked about, wanting to have an event at our community hall, perhaps in the fall,
Yeah.
to talk about fraud. And, you know, I was asking if we could arrange something like that. And then when I saw this information, like Chris is talking about, you know, a friend of his that got a call about, you know, my granddaughter's arrested, those kinds of things are still happening. And he said his friend actually, before Chris got there, gave the guy the credit card, the Visa card. So, it just twigged me that we had wanted to do. I'd read that there was one out in the county that they did it somewhere else, in Petrolia or somewhere.
So basically what we're doing, our fraud program, we're piloting a program. We have an officer who is a direct hire from York Regional Police, and he's actually an expert in cryptocurrency and fraud. So we have piloted a project, and basically that officer is going proactively around to all the banks and educating them and when they should be calling the police. And we've saved a substantial amount of money with that program. We're the first ones in Ontario that I know about to be doing it, and it may catch on because we are saving significant money. The banks are proactive when a senior is coming to the bank and asking to withdraw, say $30,000, asking some questions, and they're contacting the police immediately. And then we are going to the bank, we're speaking with that person, getting the details and say, that is not a good idea. Ultimately, we can't tell people what to do with their money, but we can educate them on fraud, and it's had some very good results. So we definitely can come and speak if you'd like us to do that.
Well, our community is like fairly senior, a lot more senior, majority of seniors, I'd say. And I mean, anything that we put on isn't just for Point Edward, but we would like to do something at Community Hall and I targeted that as a topic.
And these are all new things that are coming out.
And it
see-
keeps changing, yeah.
Keeps changing, and seniors are trusting people,
Yeah.
right? They didn't grow up with these things. So, yeah, 100%.
That did happen to me at the bank a couple months ago, and I was quite taken back. He asked me, what do you want this money for? And I went, oh, I'm old, you're asking me. that." I said, it's someone who wants to be paid in cash.
Yeah.
And he said, okay,
Was it 30,000?
no, not that much, but more than normal.
At
Yeah,
least they're checking.
I withdrew a significant amount of money. It's not just happening. here.
Yeah.
I withdrew some money the other day to buy a vehicle. The bank asked me the same question.
Okay.
So if it's not normal practice for
Yeah.
you to be withdrawing that money, they'll be asking you some questions.
Well, it was good,
which is
you know, afterwards I felt good that they were checking, but at the time I was kind of taken back, because I never had that experience before, but.
Yes, Lou.
Patrols this summer. To where are you gonna increase them to?
We definitely encourage officers to go on foot patrol. We are currently putting on a bike course right now to have all of our officers, we're hoping to have all of our officers trained on the bicycles so that we can have them on foot patrol. Obviously, if that's something that the community wants to see, we can try to increase that.
We had 2 officers on Michigan Ave 2 days ago.
No, what,
Walking.
no, I'm just asking about if there's gonna be an increase for this summer.
Well,
Okay, because there's a lot of suspicious activity going up and down Victoria, now with the reroute.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's even more suspicious, some people. And I think the bike patrol in this case would be even better than foot. Foot should remain either in the parks or, on Michigan Avenue, but the bikes, these guys are too sophisticated, the bikes now, with the cell phones and calling ahead and behind and everything else.
It's nice when the police ride on foot patrol also when they're over in
Yeah.
the business park area here, because I think they see things that they wouldn't otherwise see. And I know it's nice having a business here when you're checking the doors and just making sure that everything's secured, and that's good when that happens.
Yeah, we encourage our officers to be out on foot patrol, especially in Point Edward. It's good for the community. It's an easy patrol versus some of our other communities that are more rural. We have a place to walk around and interact with the community. We'll definitely see more interaction and more foot patrol in the summer months versus the winter for obvious reasons, but we do see foot patrol, and we do encourage it from our officers to be out in the community, especially Point Edward on foot.
But because this is recorded, I just want to make sure people know that you're out and about and you're gonna increase it and you're gonna be more visible.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna be seeing us in the sun down on the waterfront and in the business area.
Perfect. Greg.
Just to add on that, I was talking to Sergeant Matheson yesterday, and he commented how foot patrol and bike patrol officers get approached much more so than officers in a cruiser. And during his training, they were stopped at a red light and people were talking away, and they wouldn't do that to a cruiser, right? It would just be, even if the window's down, they seem more approachable. So it's great. And I did have a resident say they saw an officer and one of the nurses under the waterfront and thought it was great. So this community appreciates those alternative patrol methods, and so anytime you encourage it, that'd be great. We're going to be in about 5 or 6 months of pretty heavy duty road construction. Is it possible for the OPP to send out just a reminder, either through social media or send it to Jim to send out through our social media, just the rules regarding road closed signs, road safety, possibly what the fines are? Because I know the orange signs are more of a are considered more of an advisory, but the actual road closed sign with the red circle has a little more meaning to it, does it not? Like regarding car insurance and being able to issue tickets. Is that correct?
It seems like some drivers look at that as an invitation to go through.
Mhm.
It doesn't apply to them.
So I just wonder if we could do some education,
Yeah.
because we're just ramping up heavy duty now. And like either come right from you on your social media or both, send it to Jim, then Jim can put it out on our
If
social
you
media.
wanted to send something out, we will send something out. We sent something out last week about the construction around the detachment.
Yes, I saw
In
that.
town, so we will send something out. I'll have them send something out
Okay, yeah.
next week about road close and education, and
Mhm.
you can't be on these roads unless you.
Yeah, what the possible fines are, because some people don't understand what local traffic means when it says on a road close sign that it means you have to be stopping within that construction area. It doesn't mean, like, so local means in that area,
That's correct.
right, and making the stop, not, I'm local, I live in Port Edward, so I can just blow down St. Clair Street, so it's sort of defining some of those things would be great, I think, so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. Anything else? Okay, do I need someone to make yeah, can I have
You
someone make a
can.
motion to receive the report? Lou? Second? Perfect. Doug? All in favor? Thank you. Okay, review of financial statements. Does anybody have any questions at all on the financial statements? Greg?
This is a follow-up on something we're doing at council is with, getting an executive summary on the financial. Will the police services board be included in that? It should be pretty simple. It's a pretty simple.
Yeah,
We're just looking at council, Karen, we get these statements as part of the financial, but we're not all accountants. So our new treasurer has agreed to do like every quarter, sort of a high level executive summary. This is trending favorable. This is not. Here's why. So, because we can't be expected to go through line by line. So we're just doing that. So I'm just seeing if that could be included for the consensus board as well.
we can look into it.
Okay, thank you.
I go through it line by line.
I know you do. But it's because you're flying home from Morocco or something.
Exactly. Okay, can I have someone to make a motion to approve the financial statements, please? Lou? Seconded by? Doug? All in favor? Motion carried. Next meeting date, please.
Oh, I did.
May 22nd. Oh,
That's
it's today.
today,
Ooh.
2 months from now.
July.
Yes, it would normally be July 24th. Would be the fourth Thursday. There is a fifth Thursday that month, though, if you want to go to the 31st. So July 24th at 9:30.
I'm not available, but that's okay.
The 24th.
Yeah, I have a conservation board meeting. I can't sit in the chair.
Well, we'll miss you.
Yeah, well,
Okay, 24th works? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Lou, thank you. Awesome. Thank you, everyone.